Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about American politics, and we're going to talk about the brand new film, The Apprentice, which is the story. It is a fictional retelling of it's a dramatic, like narrative, but not a documentary. So it's told from the perspective of fiction, right? Of when Donald Trump, of the real life events of Donald Trump becoming the number one real estate owner, individual real estate owner in New York City in the 1990s. It's about him and a lawyer named Roy Cohn and how Trump, kind of built his legacy of real estate ownership. Quite interesting, very interesting film. And I did not see this film. I listened to the spoiler review, the fantastic spoiler review that was done by the jellyfish. Yeah, is it jelly? I think it's jellyfish, right? Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's two husbands who do spoiler reviews. I'm thinking jellyfish is in my head because I've actually been doing research on jellyfish right now. But it's jelly something. But it's easy to find them. Just put in spoiler reviews. They're the best on the internet with doing spoiler reviews. And it's Nick and Joseph. If you just put in Nick and Joseph spoiler movie reviews, it'll come right up. They have a different name. It's got jelly in it somewhere. Fish jelly. Sorry. I got there. My brain kicked in. Sorry. All right. Okay. Let's talk about The Apprentice and let's get into what I want to talk about. Two things with this film right now. First of all, this is so wild. The left actually think this film is going to help. They think it's going to demonize and lose points for they're releasing it right now, right, to help Kamala Harris and to give her points in the general. They are ridiculous, utter fools. Releasing a movie, doesn't matter if you're trying to demonize them in the film, is only going to put a turbo booster on Donald Trump's chances to win elections, right? To win this U.S. presidential election. Because Americans are like, wait a second. Nobody even wants to interview Kamala, and nobody really wants to interview Kamala Harris. But this guy has people who hate him making movies about him. Yeah, that's the president, right? Like that. Yeah, I'm just astounded. I'm astounded. The left actually believes that this is gonna, that this is gonna hurt Trump. First of all, no one who is even on the fence will ever see this movie, right? The only people who are going to see this movie are the most rabid liberals who are already going to vote, not Kamala, but vote whoever the Democrats tell them to vote for. They would vote for a rat, right? Kamala is, better than a candidate than a rat or any other non-human. But they would vote for, like, you could let's say a cat. That's a better way to say it. You could put a calico cat and the Democrat, whoever's going to see this movie are going to vote for that calico cat. They're like, well, I'm sure they'll purr and it'll be good for policy. They have purr policies, whatever. And that's the point, is no one going to this movie is not a dyed-in-the-wool Trump hater, right? So that's that, right? And then the other thing is, but this is getting a lot of attention, right? And that attention will mean, I would say, 3 points in the general for Donald Trump. I think this will very much help him win. And the left doesn't understand that. They don't understand. But boy, oh boy, does Donald Trump understand that, right? He changed American politics when he figured out it doesn't matter what they're saying before or after your name. It just matters that they're saying your name. And the Democrats still don't know this. They still don't know this. And most people are like, Kamala who now? What did she do for the last 4 years? Nothing, right? And they're like, and you've heard the Democrats saying, oh, we would like you to meet Kamala. Well, she's been vice president for 4 years. Why didn't nobody meet her then? Because she didn't have anything to say or do. And she actually doesn't care about any Americans, and she hasn't done a lick of work that would help an American, right? That's why. So, so I think that, that's your reason right there, right? So, all right. So next, okay, so this is absolutely going to help Donald Trump in the election. I'm astonished that the left does not understand that. That is truly astonishing that the left does not understand that they don't have, a single hope of harming, they're not going to get a single point for Kamala. This is 3 points in the general for Donald Trump. So I'm astounded they don't understand it. Next, Donald Trump is Donald Trump really is coming out. It's very clear that he's going to smash through the blue. First of all, the blue wall was a set of drapes anyway, but he is going to burn through. I think at this point he's on fire, and he will when he hits the blue drapes, they will catch on fire. Right? Like, I think it's going to be really. I am predicting now that Donald Trump is absolutely going to crush Kamala Harris. It's not going to be close. Right? It's going to be he's going to win by a landslide. Okay. Now, why? So let's talk about this other part. So Donald Trump has truly changed America for probably 200 years. Right? I don't want to say forever. I don't think his impact will be forever. But I do think he's earned 2 centuries of change. So some of the things we're going to be dealing with is, one, this is the fallout from Donald Trump being president. First of all, Donald Trump is not a Republican candidate. He is from the Trump party. There is no Republican party right now. And until he dies, there will not be a Republican party. I believe his power is so great that there will not be able to be... this might have changed if Kamala could have beaten him. She won't beat him. Excuse me. She will not beat him. Not even close, right? So then the next issue is... So one, Donald Trump owns the Republican Party. The Republican Party has been hollowed out, and it's just Trump with like a Republican mask on it. There is no Republican Party. There is only the Trump Party. And that's an entire video of his own, is how do we ever return to a Republican Party? I'm not going to deal with that here. But that we need to understand that, okay? Second, dynasty. Trump is so powerful, right, that the moment he becomes president, we're going to start talking about who will be president next. That could be one of his daughters. That could be one of his sons. That could be one of his son-in-laws, right? But he absolutely has established an American dynasty, exactly like the incredibly failed American dynasty of the Clintons, right? So let's talk about the Clinton dynasty for a minute. Bill Clinton won, right? And then Hillary was like, hey, you guys don't know it, but I created that win. And I do believe she did. I think Bill had talent, but he had no ambition and no direction. And he's clearly a lot more concerned about chasing cheeseburgers and one other thing than he was wins, right? Whereas Hillary was very focused. I truly believe that story about, her seeing the gas station attendant. And she's like, if I had married that guy, that gas station attendant, you'd be pumping gas now and he'd be running for president, right? I thoroughly believe that story. But Hillary failed. She didn't go anywhere. She didn't become president, right? And she's kind of a laughing joke now. And their daughter has no ambition. So the Clinton dynasty is finished. Nope. And I don't even know if Chelsea has kids. So if she did, they're not famous enough. Like, I know that Beyonce has kids, but I don't know Chelsea's kids. So they certainly ain't gonna be anything in the future, in my opinion. I'm sure they'll be great in whatever field they go into, but not politics, right? There's no Clinton dynasty, right? But there is a Trump dynasty, okay? And that's already gonna start talking about. The next one is, this gets interesting. The next thing that we need to learn about Trump and that we need to acknowledge is Trump really changed politics in that, like, they recently said it. They said it on Slate Political Gabfest this week, right? David Plotz there came up and they were like, oh, Donald Trump's going to get in trouble for this. He did this. They found out that Donald Trump was giving COVID tests to Putin, right? He's like, oh, this should really, and John Dickerson was like, wow, that's going to hurt him. That's really going to hurt him. You can't be giving the COVID test to your enemies. And David Plotz just chuckled. And these guys are all dyed-in-the-wool liberals, right? But David Plotz said what's obvious. He's like, nothing touches Trump. Nothing ever touches Trump. We've been saying for 7 years that Trump's going to get in trouble for XYZ. He never got in trouble for anything. We've been saying for 10 years that Donald Trump will be impacted by XYZ. He's never impacted by anything. He never gets in trouble for any behavior he does, right? And that's true. And this is new. Building a persona where everything you like. Actually, okay, let me explain how powerful Donald Trump is. I'm an evangelical Christian, right? And people will say, oh, hey, why did God put 2 hurricanes down in Florida? That wasn't good. And Christians are like, oh, that was good, right? It's good because God did it. And then you're like, no. God needs to do good things. And I'm like, no, seal your flapping maw. What God does is good. You might not understand it as good, but it is. Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it's good. God is not adhering to a set of principles that is good. God is not adhering to good. God does, and it is good, right? And that's what the Trump party is doing for Donald Trump. He simply does, and they say it's good. Period. Even if it's like, hey, my wife's pregnant and I'm sleeping with a porn star, everybody's like, good on you, bud. Right? That's what Trump has done. That absolutely no behavior, even the most abominable, evil behavior, is considered by his followers as good. That is astonishing. Now, how did he do this? And by the way, I'm not saying this is something you should try to do or that should ever have been done. I'm saying it's done, and now we need to talk about it, okay? All right, so here, let's get all the way there, okay? All right. So how did we arrive here, right? Well, here is the kicker. He wears his villain cape boldly. He came out from the beginning, right? When he became president, he had already written a book called Art of the Deal. If you haven't read Art of the Deal, you have to read it. And the reason why is he says, I am an abominable, unmitigated, unrepentant liar. I lie all the time. I use lies the way a carpenter uses nails, right? The way a carpenter uses a saw, right? He just said it right in the book. He said, I'm a horrible, abominable liar. He said it right in the book, okay? And so from the gate, he was like, I'm a villain. Hello, my name is Darth Vader. This is my black cape. This is my red-tinged lightsaber. This is my hood where a creepy breathing comes out of. I'm a villain. Now, vote me in. And that's what they did. They knowingly voted in a villain. And the evangelicals Christians did it, right? So basically, one path to victory, not just in American politics, but anywhere in America, is owning your villainy. And this is a template built by Donald Trump. And it is astonishing. And I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider subscribing and have a fetch millennium.